we're doing something a little bit different. So first, before we even get started with this is just some news I don't know, felt like reporting on. There's been some recent losses. Um, I don't do a news show. In fact, one of these things I just wanted to briefly acknowledge. I'm not even gonna say I mean, I guess it's paying respects to it. I'm not. I'm certainly not being Let me just get to it. Just fuck it. Let me just get to it. All right. So first, just want to acknowledge Technoblade's passing. Hope he rests in peace. That was actually, I believe, news that had broken last before last stream. I'm not completely sure. I don't remember exactly when. Here's the deal: is I was never really an avid watcher of any of his stuff, so I'm not gonna like sit here and I don't know give some big spiel about what a great person he was, because I don't really honestly know. I knew him in name. I just didn't really watch any of his stuff. I kind of like had some familiarity with him simply because I don't know, a long time ago, before Wilbur Soot had completely abandoned the Soot House channel in favor of going to the Minecraft stuff, I watched some of his earlier Minecraft stuff. And on a rare occasion, Technoblade would appear in those videos as a silent antagonist in those videos, and that was basically really my only experience with Technoblade. However, I did watch the what is the video called? See You Later, Nerds, or whatever it is. I couldn't finish it, actually. It was heart-wrenching, man. I couldn't finish watching the video because God, it cut deep. So yeah, but yeah. Hope he's kicking it wherever he is. The other thing is that I also wanted to go ahead and just acknowledge, I guess, as well, is the most recent news, and this hadn't actually broken last time I streamed, because this is recent news. Mr. Abe, who was our longest held prime minister for a long time, who stepped down from office in shame after his handling of the coronavirus was shot. That's what this is here. So yeah, so it's kind of a grim day, especially in Japan, when gun violence is not really a thing here in Japan. So it's a little bit of a surprise. It seems that the gun that was used was a bit makeshift, sort of a homebrew gun, because you can't really get guns here. So anyways, that was just some other news that I wanted to acknowledge, is Mr. Abe's passing, who was, I think he's pretty much been prime minister for as long as I've been here in Japan. So he was prime minister before I even arrived in Japan. So he's held that position for a long time. But he had already stepped down when this happened. Because like I said, at the start of the coronavirus, or kind of midway through the first year, when things kind of started getting really bad. I believe that's the timeline. I don't remember exactly. I don't really keep up very much with Japanese news. He had stepped down in shame because he's pretty much mocked for the way that he had handled the coronavirus. There's the big joke of the Abe masks. Before they even sent out, the stimulus checks or whatever, instead they sent out to every family a pair of face masks, like everyone wears. But they were like child size, like they would cover like just here, and they were a huge joke because it's like, the fuck is this? So anyways, but I know it's a pretty dark day for a lot of Japanese here. First of all, just facing facing, you know, I wouldn't call it, what is it, gun violence, facing gun violence in this country because it's a rare sight, as well as the loss of, you know, an important person for this country. So anyways, on that grim news, here's an awkward transition into what we're doing today. So today, where I'm not doing a game dev stream. Instead, we're gonna kind of take a little bit of a turn here. I kind of want to start maybe reaching out to other devs and maybe kind of reviewing other games. But for now, what I'd like to do is just review some free, I should clarify, some free RPG Maker games. I've already pre-selected a handful of games, so we'll be taking a look at those during this stream. I'm probably not going to play them long. I'm going to get a sense of get a first impression on them. If they hold my attention for a long time, that's great. That means you've done something right if it holds my attention for a long time. But I think the main goal is I'll maybe try to play like 10, 20 minutes, get a sense of what the game is like, and then probably move on unless like I said, somehow it holds my interest. And then somewhere in the middle of these games that I'm going to review, I have a little special sneak peek, a brand new song that was finished. I'm going to go ahead and play it for you, but I'm not going to really give you any context for it. We'll talk about that new song next time I do game dev, which will be next weekend. So I'll let you listen to the song, the brand new song. Won't give much context for it. You can consider it like a mid-roll ad between games, and of course you're welcome to skip it if you're not here for my music. But you're a shameful sinner if you dare skip my music. But you're welcome to do it because I have no power of stopping you. So that's that. So, anyways, let's get started. The first thing I want to do is I wanted to actually try out 66 Seconds to Save the World. I had featured this game in my RPG Maker Has a Terrible Reputation. This is the only game I'm going to be featuring from that for right now, simply because all the other games that I had featured, well, they cost money, and I'm a little bit poor right now. So, sorry, I had a cynical thought, and I was very tempted to say it out loud. No, I'm gonna. It's related to this country that I live in. But considering our loss this week, I'm gonna be respectful to the man that we just lost. And I'm not gonna say what I want to say. But it almost came. It almost came out. So anyways, 66 Seconds to Save the World is the first game I want to try. I can't imagine spending a long time with this game because supposedly it's 66 seconds. So, it's not going to be exactly 66 seconds because I got to, open the menu and all that. But I can't imagine it taking very long. Oh, I should preface this. I didn't actually start a game in any of these, but I did at least check to make sure I could launch the game. And I'm warning you now, some of these games, their volume is like fucking through the roof. Which, by the way, if anyone who is developing games is watching this, please set your master volume down. Please. And I don't know what it is about RPG Maker as a whole, because it generally seems like just by default, RPG Maker itself wants to be really fucking loud. I hate having to do like test games or tutorial games or whatever, where I just like create a new project file and it launches with all the default sounds, and you just click run and you totally forget that it has the default main menu music and default sound effects, UI effects, and it blasts your eardrums out. get a plugin that gives you a master volume slider that lets you set a default volume for it. And please, set it to like 80%. Anyways, yeah. That's a warning for headphone users, including myself, that whenever we're about to launch a game, just remember, turn down the volume in preparation, because it may possibly be loud. Which, speaking of, let's go ahead and launch 66 seconds to save the world. We'll go ahead and run it. Is this an installer? Oh man, I would have just gone with the zip file. I thought it was just gonna... Because I don't imagine there being a save for this game, so I figured he might have just packaged it all into a single exe. But it looks like it's just... Okay, alright, well... we'll just... put it there. Yep, okay, alright. Obviously I didn't test this one out. So, anyways. Oh, before we even... What's the volume like? It's not so bad. Good. I think it does sound like it's pretty loud. Like, I can tell, like, just the way that the volume sounds in my headphones. Even though the volume is low, I can tell that the volume... The normal default volume is set to very loud. It's just that very loud volume is... Like, it's... What am I trying to say here? It's close to hitting the ceiling, right? That's the loudness ceiling. I can tell that it's very close to that. Like, it is very loud, but thankfully, my system volume is low, so it didn't blast our eardrums out. I'll probably keep it here, too. I'll crank it up a little bit. One thing I did want to do is go through the itch.io pages so we can read some more about these games and understand them. Like I said, I did go over this game in my RPG Maker Has a Terrible Reputation. Go check that video out if you haven't already. I will admit, the beginning of the video is pretty slow. Please bear with me, because it was kind of a new format that I was trying, and yeah, once I kind of get into the groove of the format, I think the video really picks up. So please give it a chance. Check it out. I will link it in the description, along with everything else, including these games and all of my links. So anyways, in 66 seconds to save the world, 4 wizards have accidentally summoned a demon and send their best and brightest to find the spellbook, which will let them banish it back to where it came from. Just kidding, they sent Dave. No one has even heard of him until now. In this game, you will control Dave, who has 66 seconds to find the spellbook on an island, or the demon will break free. Will you succeed, or will the demon break free? 66 Seconds to Save the World is a short RPG Maker game made for the 24-hour RPG Maker RTP Jam. By the way, in my RPG Maker Has a Terrible Reputation video, I wasn't sure what RTP meant. I kind of like had a vague sense of what it represents. Like, I understood it kind of represented the default assets, but I didn't really understand what RTP specifically stands for. It stands for Runtime Package. I have to say thanks to... I don't remember his name. Someone in the comments had pointed that out for me. So thanks, man, for pointing that out. Yeah, so anyways, it's basically saying this game was made in 24 hours using only the default assets. No custom assets as per the Jam rules. So let's take a look at it. Since there's no custom assets, and no... I can't maximize it. Am I stuck? I'm stuck in this resolution. Holy shit. Is there anything we can do about this? If I switch here... hang on. We're gonna add... can I do... Yeah, window capture. Okay. Okay. And we're going to... where... I always forget where they hide this. Transform, is it there? Yeah. Fit to screen. There we go. All right. I just noticed that my Hang on. This is terrible. This stream is going terribly. I just noticed that my live stream dashboard in YouTube is not going. Does that mean I'm not streaming? It says I'm live. Why? Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so lucky you, you get a nice big full screen size of the game, but I don't get that. I get, oh, hey, there we go. Look, there's that. Wait, is that by default? Is that really in default RPG Maker? I don't remember seeing this. Okay, so... I think you use WASD. Does it? It says W, which is R. What the fuck? I don't know what this is. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So, this is up and down. So it's on the arrow keys. So what the fuck is this? So anyways, I was just trying to show you this is the size of the screen that I'm working with. I'll leave this up and let's just get right into it. We'll be fair to this game. Like I said, it's built in 24 hours. And it was for a game jam, so obviously, you know, we can be more lenient on some eccentricities of it. I'm not gonna, you know, hold it against it for that kind of stuff. So anyways, let's take a look. Welcome to 66 Seconds to Save the World. Would you like to learn how to play? Yes! In 66 Seconds to Save the World, you have 66 seconds to find a spellbook hidden on an island somewhere. While you're searching for the spellbook, you can encounter various monsters and items. Monsters will take away your HP, and items will grant you various benefits. Arrow keys to move, X to bring up menu, hold down shift to dash. The monsters, slime and scorpions, does HP damage on contact. Maneater kills on contact. Avoid. Rats cause characters to jump 1 square. Can you use that for, like, speedrun strats? Benefits of various items. Potions heal 10 HP. Shield grants a level up. Scrolls restart the timer. Interesting. So it's not actually 66 seconds. Press any key to begin. Good luck. Once upon a time, there were 4 mages who attempted to invoke a powerful magic spell. The spell backfired and they accidentally summoned a demon instead. They were able to imprison the demon, but the spell would not last long. In an attempt to banish the demon for good, they sent Dave? Wait, who the snark is Dave? Anyways, they sent Dave to an island to find a spellbook that would let them banish the demon back for good. However, he only had 66 seconds to find it, else the demon will break free and doom us all. Would you like to save? So there are saves. Interesting. Alright. So... whoa, that slime just kind of came out of nowhere. Oh, fuck! Alright. Let me just pick that up. I don't like being I don't like being pressured with time. My heart rate's already going up. I don't like time pressures. Scrolls, give me that. Oh, move the fuck out of the way. Alright, fuck you then. Just take the damage. There's a potion hiding there anyways. Can we just... Let's just take the damage. How'd that do? Or that was... Oh! Oh, okay, that didn't... Alright, I got that. I kind of like how it just automatically does the fighting. I mean, that's really appropriate for this kind of game. Alright, I'll level up. Oh, fuck, that shield's over there. Don't trick me with that. Come on. Oh. Is that it? Alright. I like the cheesy victory music, too. I wonder... that looks like that was a specific spawn point. But I wonder if that's randomly generated, or at least randomly picked from a number of different locations, or if it's always there. That looks like that's a specific place. So I see what the saving is for. It's just to skip the intro. So let's see if I can remember how to get back there. When I was panicking, since I was panicking, like I wasn't exactly keeping track of the steps I took to get to that point. So I don't know if I'll be able to find my way back or not. But I'm gonna try my best just to see if it's at the exact same location or if it's randomly spawns in different spots. What did I do here? I don't remember. Oh, I damage boosted through the poison. Yeah, this is over there, so I kind of bypassed that. I think I went up here. Yeah, I saw that, so then I think I came up here. And that's, yeah, okay. So it looks like it's just always in the same spot. That's kind of a shame. You know, like, in my own game, I have, like, objects. That would be an event where that book is, right? So that book is an event, so I have different events that, like, spawn on a map. And I kind of created a system that randomly places the item on the map. There's a few different ways that could be done that I think could have been done pretty quickly within 24 hours, but I understand, excuse me, I understand being in the 24-hour time span, it just might, you might be focused on doing other things or it might just slip your mind. So, like, I would have, like, I think one of the easiest ways is just have, like, a variable, like, roll a random number, and then depending on what number is rolled, it will select one of a handful of different spots that it'll spawn in. So, one thing I do want to check is what happens if we run out of time. So, god damn it, I want to push WASD. I want to use WASD. Anyways, so I'm going to let the timer run out, but I am or I might just fucking die if I step on everything. But I also want to try to get the... Alright. I want to try to get the shield, the level up thing, just to see how that works. So I might actually grab this scroll that's over here. It is over here, right? Did I bypass it? I don't remember. Yeah, it's over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. There's the book. Okay, so... How do I get that shield? I remember seeing it. So maybe I need to go up and around. Do these fuckheads respawn? I don't remember. Yeah, there we go. Okay, what does this do? So I guess it increased the health, because I think before it was in like the 50s, if I remember correctly. Alright, so I'm pretty low on health. So I don't really want to fight those guys. Grab that potion up there. And I wonder if... Like, well, I mostly just explored these grassy areas. I kind of wonder what else is out there, you know? I wonder if there's other locations that it could be found in. So they tint the screen. And that's it. Alright. Interesting. I would be curious to know, like, what else is out there in the world, and I wonder if there's other, like, it might not be random where the book is placed in the world. It could be... It might just spawn multiple copies of the book, and so there's not just like one location that you could win the game at, but multiple different locations. I wonder if that's how it is. I would hazard a guess, considering how much it looks like I didn't explore, that there is a strong possibility that you would find the book placed somewhere else, like multiple copies of the book. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool, especially for a 24-hour game. First time playing it through, I don't deal well with time pressures, and so I was feeling that. But the second time, like the subsequent run-throughs, you know, it didn't feel quite as tense because I kind of knew what to expect. So it definitely works very well as a game jam, game. Yeah. I don't know about a full game built around that. Anything more. So, anyways, all right. Which one do I want to... Oh, yeah. Okay, I want to do this Winds of Eternity one. So, Winds of Eternity is not a finished game. So, this is going to be the... I was... Originally, why I wanted to do this video today was because of Winds of Eternity. And I had set out to make sure that all the games that I was going to play today are finished games that you can play yourself. And so when I was like pulling up all the tabs for the game so we can read the description and all that, like all the itch.io pages, I came to learn that actually Winds of Eternity, the game that prompted me to do this video today anyways, is not actually finished. So this is going to be the only game that's like that. So it doesn't have an itch.io page. We'll just have to kind of read over it here. It is a lot, but I think a lot of this is also asking for like assistance with the project. So let's just kind of read basically the basic plot synopsis up here, and we'll probably ignore a lot of the rest. So it says, "What if Zelda were an RPG?" is a question many people have asked since Mario RPG came out, or maybe even earlier with Zelda 2. RPG elements are things the series has played with here and there, but a full-on RPG is not something Nintendo has ever tried. There have been a few fan games with the idea, but none of the ones I've come across have felt like they're actually Zelda, more like Final Fantasy with a coat of Zelda paint. So about 10 years ago, I set out to make a Zelda RPG of my own. 10 years ago seems like a long time, but I haven't exactly been working on it continually all that time. More bursts of motivation followed by long periods of hiatus. But now I'm finally nearing completion with only 3 main story dungeons left to finish, in addition to some bonus dungeons. I do need help, blah, 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 because that's where he's asking for help. Why did it go? No, I didn't mean to quote that. Get the fuck out of here. All right, I lost my place. So this game is filled to the brim with references to the series. I am a major Zelda fan, and the whole idea was to express Zelda in an RPG medium. So there are references everywhere. I think probably the best way to illustrate it is with the overall map, which I don't know if that's the best way to illustrate it, but thank you for the map anyways. We can take a bigger look at it there. That's not really selling me on it, but good try. Yeah, there's... Anyways, yeah, here are just some notes. As I had mentioned before, I did actually launch some of these games before the stream just to make sure that they actually launch. I can say that it does seem like they have ripped some of Zelda's music. At least for sure, they use the Ocarina of Time, like main menu theme, or not main menu, whatever, start, splash screen, whatever you want to... The screen where Link is riding Epona around Hyrule Fields, and you just have like the piano and ocarina playing in the background. That song they used. So for sure they've at least ripped that one song from the game. And the only reason why I bring that up is potentially, thanks to Nintendo being Nintendo, because of this game, this video may get copyright flagged. So if you watch this video and there was an advertisement before the video starts or anywhere within this video, that's not because of me. I don't have access to monetization. YouTube took that away from me because I wasn't able to meet the new requirements. That's probably because Nintendo is an asshole company. So, yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and launch the game and just find out what happens. Fingers crossed they don't copy strike this video, but it is Nintendo, so we'll just have to see. Let's see if this one will let me... Okay, so that's even louder than the previous game. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the version of RPG Maker that they use that prevents me from like full screening it using the F keys, because at least in my RPG Maker game, by default, I can push F4. Okay, Alt-Enter works. Alright, that works. But it also, like, it's not borderless full screen. That's annoying. Let's see if I can push the F1 menu that I just... Okay. Let's see if I can push the F1 menu. Yeah. What? Why is this option different? Alright. I think this is like a VX Ace thing. Is that what he's using? Does it say anywhere in here what version? I mean, if it was 10 years ago, it must have been VX Ace. RPG Maker XP. Alright. I guess that maybe it's an RPG Maker XP kind of thing. So we're going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to just move over to the window capture here so you get the nice big screen. The reason why is because when I force it into full screen, it like minimizes everything else on my other screen, so I can't see like my live stream or my OBS. I can't see any of that stuff. It's also like moved a bunch of my shit around because I had full screened it earlier. So yeah, I don't like that. So I'm not gonna do it that way. So I'm gonna deal with the tiny little menu. So Dev, hey, what up? I'm speaking to you. I don't know what XP can do. I'm not even familiar with VX Ace. I only use MV, and I guess because MV is almost exactly the same as MZ, I could say I have some familiarity with MZ just because they're so identical. So I don't know if it's possible, but please look into like some sort of like borderless full screen mode, or at least the ability to resize the windows so it's not... Okay, thanks for minimizing everything, Windows. That was not appreciated. Sure, we'll just look at my Cyberpunk background. Okay, yeah, at least being able to resize this, because this is a 2K monitor, all right? So this is not 4K, this is just 2K, 1440p. This is tiny. I cannot imagine playing this on a 4K monitor. This thing would be like the size of like a penny on the screen. So please look into ways of allowing to adjust the size of the screen. This is a problem. Also, another problem I can already foresee coming is that it doesn't support WASD. Stop doing this, RPG Maker devs. I know RPG Maker has always used the up-down, and a bunch of old fogies have grown up with games that used arrow keys. I know my friend, my coworker, who was the one that convinced me to get RPG Maker in the first place a year ago, was sitting there being like, well, back in my day, we always used the arrow keys. We didn't ever use any of this WASD. But modern games, every modern game that gets released now uses WASD. Unless you're on Dvorak. We don't count them because they're weird. Use skin WASD. Alright? Or at least allow the option. Please. Actually, that's the best choice. That's always... Giving options is always the best choice. If you can at least provide a simple script, an option menu that gives you the choice. Do you want to use WASD layout or do you want to use arrow key layout? Do that, please. Alright, anyways. This is a non-profit fan-made title, The Legend of Zelda and associated material. Okay. I've lived so many lives. Always seeking the same thing. I've almost forgotten why now. Power. Power I despise. I despise power. Wait, desire. Sorry, desire power. Enough power to silence. I don't like how it keeps like blinking in and out, but with the same text that was previously shown. That's like making... I keep thinking that it's repeating the same text. Like, you know, it starts with power, and then you click next, and it still has power there, but then adds a new line. But because it blinked in and out, it makes me think that it's repeating power again. Enough power to silence that wind forever. And now the hour of my birth approaches, Providence shall once again shine upon me. I will ensure this time things will go correctly. There's no more room for error. This time the wind is on my side. I shall have it at last. That ultimate power, Triforce. All right, so I know he mentioned this, so I'm not gonna criticize. I'm gonna mention something now. But I have to mention it now because it's hard not to. It's hard not to ignore it. But I will mention that in his original post, one of the things he's looking for is an artist, because currently most of the art has been like, they're like sprites that have been ripped from other Zelda games, which creates this, what you're seeing right now, this hideous mishmashing. Why am I struggling? And tonight, I'm not even drinking alcohol. It's storming outside, so I didn't feel like going to the store to pick... Did the music just stop? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. You gotta figure out a way to make that loop. Don't just have it do that at all. Anyways, sorry. It's storming outside. I didn't feel like picking up any alcohol. Oh, I don't have my... Can I turn on my webcam? Yeah, but I'm underneath. I'm underneath the... Hang on, let's move that up there. Okay, all right. Anyways, it's storming outside, and I didn't feel like walking to the convenience store to pick up any alcohol, so I just have a Coke today. I'm not even drunk, and I can't speak. Anyways, yeah, the art is heinous because it's totally mismatched, but he's aware of that, so let's ignore that and just keep going. Good morning, Link. Did I wake you up? I have some exciting news. Shad discovered what he thinks is a hidden passage in the wooded temple. Grab your weapon. We're going to check it out. Fado joined the party. Interesting. Okay, I guess that's a save. Sure, I'll save it. Alright, yeah, there's the fade out. And it fades back in. Buddy. Buddy. Don't do that. Figure out a way to make it loop. Oh, hello, Link. Off on one of your adventures, are you? You'll need a new sword, I bet. Come to me later, and I might have one for you. Alright, so he said, is there a map screen? Wait, can I equip that? Or is that already equipped? Alright. So I see that Link is using the hero class. I would rename that. Because, like, yeah, you kind of like... You could use the class names as, like, the race. I think that's interesting, because you did that with Fado. Fado Kokiri. So, like, why don't you do that with Link? You could label him Kokiri or something like that. I'm guessing Kokiri has his own stats. But I mean, you could rename it. Like, the name doesn't matter. You don't have to assign the Kokiri class. You could have, effectively, in your database, you could have 2 classes with the exact same name, but different stats. So you could just rename the hero class to Kokiri. It's just... Or you could, maybe, I guess you could call him the Hero of Time if you wanted. So, anyways, yeah, so where am I going? These are like some really large and empty maps. Is there a dash? No. Oh, see, now I know how players are gonna feel when they play my game and I don't give them a dash and I make them and I force them to move at default RPG Maker speeds. But I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm not fucking changing the speed. All the levels are built around the speed at which the player moves. If I change the speed or add dash, everything gets fucked up. If you have a complaint with the speed, then I don't know, take it up with someone else, not me. Anyways, but at least I'll kind of understand their feelings, because these are some big, large, empty maps, and I can see I've wasted my time going this way. Yeah, there's nothing interesting to look at while I'm walking on these big, large, empty maps, and I can't move faster. Okay, it's reconnected. Thanks, OBS. Anyways, there's something up there. I wonder if I can... Ah, I can. Alright, so I obtained Rock's Feather. Can I equip that? Allows the... But I can't... Or do I just need to go here? Ooh. How long? How long did it take you to make that one, huh? That's a good rendering, though. What'd you use? What'd you use to make that Link's head? What is that? Photoshop? What is that? Photoshop Creative Cloud? You use Adobe Illustrator for that? What? Tell me your secret. How'd you make that Link's cap? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a cap. All right. Anyways, Rock's Feather allows you, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, I haven't even been able to fight yet, so I don't know what that means for me now. So, I guess I should say that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a little bit annoying when you get gear that you don't know what it means, but like, it's not the end of the world. I would hope soon I'll understand what that means. But you know what would be nice is if... Did I miss it? Maybe this is like the streamer syndrome, where I was too busy trying to be entertaining for the stream and totally just glossed over... just totally glossed over the direction I should be going. All I know is I'm supposed to be going towards like the whatever something with this girl that I picked up. But I don't remember if they told me exactly which direction that is. These look like the logs you move in Golden Sun. I immediately want to start pushing these to like roll them to solve like puzzles, but I don't think they are interactable. See, but didn't... Oh, that is a really short version of that song that you have too, by the way. That is way too short of a version of the Lost Woods theme. Boy, even if you're gonna have to do this, like you don't have loot points, I get it. you should at least, like, I don't know, manually extend the song out. Don't fade it out so quickly. I imagine what's actually happened here is you've downloaded a rip of the soundtrack from some website, and I'm guessing that rip of the soundtrack is a short version of it. Like, it's not you fading it out. I'm speaking to the dev. It's just wherever you download it from. That's how it's been downloaded. It is a loop, which means if you can find out where the loop starts and ends, you can easily just cut, before the fade-in happens, copy the loop, and then just put it where you cut it. But you have to do that yourself. Anyways, hello, Fado, and are you and Link going on an adventure? I'll never understand why you enjoy hanging out with that Ordon boy so much. Oh, hey, this is probably an enemy. Let's see how this goes. By the way, is Fado a character from Legend of Zelda? I don't actually recall Fado, but to be fair, I never played Breath of the Wild. And what was the one before Breath of the Wild that the fuck? Why does the name just slip my mind? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. The Wii one that just got an HD re-release recently. I played like maybe 4 hours of that one, and I don't know what it was about my room, but it was like intolerable. Like, it just could not detect motion controls at all, so everything was just jank. So yeah, I gave up on that game. A terrible experience with it. And then I don't have a Switch, so I never played Breath of the Wild. Anyways, let's figure this stuff out. But what I was saying also is I don't know who Fado is. Is that a new character, or is that from one of the Zelda games that I never played? I'm guessing I'm going on the right way because that one girl acknowledged me going in the right direction, or not, or whatever, spending time with the Ordon boys. So I'm hoping that means I'm going in the right direction. Guess we'll fight some more. Yeah, start of JRPGs. This is not really necessarily the fault of... Well, I mean, it kind of is. If you're making a JRPG, the beginning is always sucks. It's just mash, attack, 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 attack. And there's really not a lot of strategy to it. But you see that even in AAA games. I don't know why even AAA game devs continue to make the beginning part of their JRPG incredibly uninteresting. But anyways, that's present here too. I don't see anything particularly stand out about the combat mechanics. Like, attack. We'll heal Link because he's a little bit weak. And then, you know, I mean, I guess it's not super compelling. Does this say where to go? Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna blame this on the guy, because it's just what happens when you're streaming, is you're not paying as much attention. And I don't remember, was it the Wooded Temple that I wanted to go to? I think it was, but also there's something about Ordon boys, right? So, do I want to go to Ordon or Wooded Temple? What's this? Okay, so there's like a skill tree. That's interesting. How come the other save point didn't have this? I don't remember seeing this at the other save point. Okay, so we were going to the Wooded Temple. Here we are, the Wooded Temple. Let's go find the secret passage Shad was talking about. He said it was at the deepest part of the temple. Alright. I think I want to see how they do temples in this game, and I'm hoping that this Wooded Temple, like, I'll be able to get access to it, like, right away. Fuck me. And if that's the case, I hope that I can get access to it pretty much right away, so that way I can at least see how this guy's handling Zelda dungeons in his RPG Maker game. Dude, the enemy litter here is fucking nuts. There's just so many enemies here. Oh my god, look at how many there are. Chill out with them. Woo! Alright. Oh, fuck. This is where I came from, huh? Maybe is this where I came from? I don't know at this point anymore. I got a Deku stick! Woo! Oh my god, there's so many enemies. Korok leaf. Why are you like? Why does all this like item spam? What am I even getting? It'd be nice if you'd say like when you like. I mean, even Zelda does this. Like when you get a new item, it tells you what the item does. Don't make me have to go into the menu and like look it up myself. Shoots a gust of wind that can damage enemies at long range. I haven't even ran into any I haven't found what that's useful for. Deku stick doesn't even have a description. Who the fuck knows what that's for? Is it equipment? Yeah, so it's the same as what I'm using, I guess. Alright, I don't know. Yeah, man. Dev, if you're watching, you gotta chill out with the enemy spawns. Can I go down that? Like, jump down or something? No. Oh no, Fado's health is low. I guess I should use the only other skill that she has. Can you use skills outside of combat? Sure can. Oh, what the? Sorry, I'm not reading it out loud. I'm looking for the secret passage too. One of our spies heard about it and the king told me to go and retrieve whatever was inside. He sent you. That seems sort of strange. You're not exactly the best fighter the Deku Palace has, and this place is crawling with monsters. I know, it puzzled me as well. That's why I'm so glad you're here. We can find the treasures together. I won't disagree with that. Let's bring him along, Link. Okay. Does that mean I have access to, like, can I go further? Because I feel like I explored all of this over here. Did I miss something over here? Like this pot here. Oh! Okay, yeah. So because I didn't have the guy with me. All right, Dev. Don't do that. If the player interacts with something when they shouldn't interact with it yet, you should like at least give some sort of hint that they should come interact with it later. Because here's what might more than likely happen is if someone tries to interact with this pot before they're supposed to and nothing happens, they're going to assume they don't need to do anything with that pot even after they get whatever the Deku scrub in their party. They're not going to think to come back to the pot. You have to prompt them. You have to remind them saying, oh, this pot looks a little bit strange. I should come back here later, or whatever you want to say. I don't know. But yeah, don't do that. Looks like the riddle, according to Shad, if we solve it, we can discover a secret path. What lies beneath the tree? An Octorok, an ambulance, an eagle. Beneath the tree. I'm guessing it's talking about the Great Deku Tree, and I assume Ocarina of Time. I guess there was... Oh, no? Yeah, well, I don't know. This is kind of a poor riddle, like... I get it's a fan game, so I guess it would make sense for a fan game to quiz fans on their knowledge of the game. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like the riddle should be self-contained, and I don't know. I haven't gone beneath a tree yet, and no one's instructed me to go beneath a tree, and I don't know. I don't know why that's the right answer. Okay, that's the top of the map. Yeah, how much of I spent probably way too much time on this game. I think it's time to move on to another game. I'm kind of not really enjoying this game, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, let's move on to a different game. Let's go over to... let's see, I have these other 3 left. I want to do this one. This is one map... what is it? It's the OM one map game challenge, I think. So it's kind of, I guess, like a game jam or something. Let's close that one out. And it's going to be The Calm Before the Storm. This one has me a little bit confused because the title says Scorched Ground. I think that's the name of the developer. I don't know. Also, I had no idea what OMGC stood for until like I don't know. It took me too long to put the pieces together that one map game challenge is what OMGC stood for. I don't know. Anyways, it's small, minor, totally unimportant complaint. Let's see. What does it say? This game is a prequel to my other game, The Party's Last Adventure, which was also made for an RPG Maker challenge. This game, however, is purely focused on story, characters, and atmosphere, so don't expect much in terms of gameplay or complex mechanics. Nevertheless, please enjoy the game and feel free to give me feedback. This is an RPG Maker MV game. The game has little gameplay to offer and instead focuses on story, atmosphere, and characters. This game lasts about 10 to 20 minutes. We'll see about that. I hope so, because I think I can easily contribute 10 to 20 minutes to a game. Those are screenshots here. So that is built in MV, right? Yeah. So, first of all, already liking that it's rendering in a larger window. I can see that much better than the other window, but can I push F4? Oh, I can! Look at that! Very nice! But no motherfucking WASD! Go fucking figure! Look at that! Right there! Very nice! Very nice, Game Dev. Very nice. Master volumes by default set to 40. Thank you for not blowing our eardrums out. Okay, all right. I can forgive the no WASD since they got a plugin that allowed them to set a default master volume. All right, let's start the adventure. 2 years ago, we defeated a looming evil. He was a despicable sorcerer specter hybrid. Okay, alright. He was a despicable sorcerer specter hybrid. Lurking in the shadows and seeking power, he studied and unleashed terrible curses in a most desecrated ancient tower. With world domination in mind, he gained control over dark magic, dooming an upheaval. I see my camera is partly in the way. I'll go ahead and disable it. Anyways, ironically enough, that same terrible power threatened to destroy the planet of his desire. At the height of his strength, it was just the 4 of us. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, so then which one is it? We had a lot of allies who helped us along the way, but in the end, they all put their faith in us to defeat him and his army of husks. We succeeded. Okay. Game over. Roll credits. That's it. Story's done. Against all odds, we actually defeated him. Victus and peace was restored, but the world was left destroyed. But at the moment of his demise, he already planted the seed of final ruin. With his last breath, he spoke a final incantation, a final curse. Only 2 years later would we learn that he didn't curse... Okay. Game! It's like you have a hard time committing to anything. It was the 4 of us who defeated evil. Except not really. It was us and a bunch of other people. This great evil rose to power. Except not really. We actually defeated him. We succeeded. With his final breath, he uttered a final curse. Except not really. He didn't curse any of it. Game. Come on. Commit to something. He doomed this whole planet. And wait. The next line is, except not really. If he could not have this planet, no one could. So he summoned a monster from far beyond what you might call reality. It sounds really passive aggressive. So he summoned a monster from far beyond what you might call reality. And now it finally lurks at the horizon. Except not really. Yep, there we go. Contrary to everything I planned to do with my... Oh, no, okay. I thought the contrary was going to be about the mountain. Or the mountain, my god. The contrary is going to be about the monster. Contrary to everything I had planned to do with my life, I reluctantly assembled my former crew to set out for a final adventure, fighting a cosmic force of nature. And so we returned to the place where it all began. Except not really. Looks pretty good, actually. This looks like... Is it FSM? Might be FSM. I'm not sure. Good. Looks like the speech boxes are like kind of in the middle of the screen, so I can re-enable my webcam. Well, here we are. I hate it here. The character portraits looks like they are generated from the RPG Maker character generator, which is totally fine. But they look nice. Actually, I think the effects going on here, like the like fog or smoke, whatever, and like the dim lighting around the characters looks pretty good. And gentle rain. Yeah. This all looks pretty nice. Except not really. No, just kidding. We all do. This is the last stop. These ruins took quite the hit in the past 2 years, but we are not going to get a better resting place before we reach the tower. Oh, they have a nice little zoom out. I thought that was kind of zoomed in. That's kind of cool. One thing is for certain, we hiked up the mountain for hours, and there is no way we are fighting our way to the spire at midnight. One thing that they're doing that I actually kind of like, and I might actually incorporate this into my own game as well. Actually, I don't know. That would be a lot of redoing a lot of stuff, and I don't think it's that important. Anyways, I like that they seem to have embedded the names into the character portraits, so that way they don't have to like render the name tag up at the top or anything like that. It's just like right there, and I kind of like this is a very concise and easy way to do it. Like I was saying, I kind of want to do it in my own game, but I've done so much dialogue and I'm so far into the game that would require... Well, no, I guess I could just replace the images. I don't know. I still think it would be a lot of work. I'll look into it. I might do that. No, because I still have to go back through all the dialogue and delete the rendered name boxes from this. Okay, yeah. I don't think I'm going to do that. But I like the idea, and I would do it if I wasn't so far into my own game. Anyways... One thing is for certain, we hiked up the mountain for hours and there is no way we are fighting our way to the spire at midnight. I'm sure whatever waits for us at the top of the tower can wait until next morning. Whatever is up there can wait for all eternity for all I care. Wait, but isn't the world ending? Why is there no agency here? Again, the game can't fucking commit to anything. The world is going to end soon because of this curse. But these entitled assholes who apparently were not cursed are like, yeah, we're not gonna die, so fuck it, we'll just take a night. Maybe, I don't know, take a week before we actually go up to the tower. Whatever, who gives a shit? Whatever's up there can wait for all eternity for all I care. Maybe we are lucky and there's actually nothing there. It's possible that I just picked up remnants of Victus dark magic, and it's really just as quiet as the day we liberated the place from him. Whatever the case may be, we will stay here for the night, so for now we should take the time before nightfall to secure the area. We wouldn't want to get torn apart by wolves before our big day, huh? Shush you. Let's split up and make sure we can sleep in peace tonight. Oh look, hey, they tried to do little fairy dust things, and it looks like 10 times better. Their little fairy dust things here look like 10 times better than the fairy dust garbage that I use in my game to highlight important stuff. I want your fairy dust asset. Where'd you get it? I need to replace my shitty fairy dust asset that I made. It looks like ass, so and yours doesn't. Anyways, suggesting to split up was a little dangerous considering the history of this place. I better stay alert. Alright, what is it? Oh. Oh, right. It's not WAS. Motherfucker, not WASD. The cabin. It's been 2 years since we last stayed here. Not the best place to spend the night, but you're not getting anything better around. Can't really complain about a roof over your heads, somewhat clean beds, and a fireplace. Hey, by the way, are you... Wait, I thought you finished talking. I wonder... Alright. I wonder if the coals we collected last time are still here. No matter, it's not like we are missing fuel for a fire with all this wood lying around. Alright, hey, by the way. Yawnfly's input plugin is like part of the free package. And like, it comes with profiles. Like, I can say that for sure in MV. Like, the previous Zelda game... I have no idea for XP. But in MV, Yawnfly's default, like, free plugin package has, like, plugin or control input method plugin. And it has profiles built in by default to either use arrow keys or WASD. And the player can choose which one to use. So, you're getting the best of both worlds. Please implement it. Wait, can I go to... Never mind. Okay, so, yeah. Please implement Yawnfly's input plugin, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Because Not only does it allow for rebindable keys in a very jank way, I should mention. I really don't like the way that you can rebind keys in it. It's confusing and not very clear, but at least it's possible. Or you can just select from some preset layouts, which includes WASD. And that way, for the people, the boomers who don't play real modern games, I'm being so inflammatory by saying that. Anyways, for the boomers that don't play fucking modern games and want to use their little arrow keys over here kind of thing, they can still do that. And then for the zoomers over here who actually play real games using like a real keyboard layout, they can switch it over to WASD. So please, if you're using MV, use that plugin. It's free. Can I interact? What can I interact with? Nothing. All right, so I need to collect wood, I think, is what they were saying. So I'm guessing the fairy dust is going to tell me what I can and cannot interact with, because so far none of this stuff is interactable. I did say collect wood. You can't really collect that. You know, seeing this kind of reminds me, I need to do more tiers to my... Anyway, so that's just me thinking out loud. Ignore me. So, am I just going to fairy dust? Is that my goal right now? Is just collect fairy dust? I'm guessing so. This village was quite prosperous in its time. No wonder it had abundant water reserves, rich soil, enough animals to hunt and domesticate. And what happened there? The kerning got all fucked up with the text. And perfect protection due to its terrain. I don't think that's really the fault of the dev. That's either... I think that's just the font. Because sometimes it looks like this V and R. It's like the R like seems to overextend too far and like gets smashed into other letters. The single thing that caused this village to become a ruin was the fact that Victus decided to turn the Holy Tower of Time into Void Spire and make it into his bastion of madness. I sometimes think about how this village would have turned out under more fortunate circumstances. I'm getting kind of like all hot and bothered over here. I need to like get some more airflow going. Yeah. Can you climb up that? You can climb up that. Very nice. All right. Move the mouse cursor off the screen. Do I need to talk to girl here? Oh. I don't know. I don't know how that plugin works. If it's possible, waiting for the zoom in kind of sucks. That's like maybe too long of a wait. But what you can do, if there is no like wait timer built into the zoom effect on the plugin, then have it zoom in while it's showing text. Like you can have those two things going on at the same time. I think. I don't know anything about that plugin. I may have to look into this plugin though, because I kind of like it. Selphia, did I already mention that I hate it here? I wouldn't know, but please enlighten me. Isn't that normally your job? I mean, you were the one who dragged us up here in the first place. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Don't be, it was the right call. Trusting your intuition has paid off more than once. Has it? I don't know that. So I have complete faith in your judgment. I'm more concerned about whether or not I end up being useful to you. I mean, Seth and you being Iman and... Don't do this. Don't do this. Oh my god, I hate it when stories do this. It's like the story is being a gatekeeper. Let's throw these terms out at you and not explain what they are, nor even give you a chance at understanding them. I mean, Seth and you being Iman and all, you two play in a completely different league than me. Even I was like, what is Iman? Am I going to get an explanation here? Am I going to have to like I get it. I get it. I had to do this in my own book that I wrote, and I'm not going to say that I'm a fucking master at exposition here. I'm sure sometimes it was ham-fisted and forced. I get that, like, just like outright telling the person, like, here's what Iman is, and you're basically a dictionary. Like, that is just bad. It sounds terrible. But on the opposite end of the spectrum is also not telling players or readers or whoever and just expecting them to, like, figure it out. It kind of feels like your story is just being a gatekeeper. It's like, oh, you're not smart enough to put it all together. You didn't read enough Wikipedia articles about my game. You didn't get inside my head. Well, I guess you're not good enough to understand my game. You know, it's like you're just leaving out the player. Also, this is just some really stilted dialogue. I mean, Seth and you being Iman and all. Like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. But I don't know who any of these fucking names are, by the way. But at least Ivsar is a great fighter despite only being... What is this? I don't know what Umani is. I have no fucking clue what any of this is. Listen, Verona, even though you don't have any inherited traits or powers like we Iman do, what Iman is, still don't fucking know. You still possess great abilities, and unlike us, you have to work to attain them. Your knowledge of all kinds of science is arguably more useful than any kind of brutish warrior. You're not wrong. I personally am proud to be in my book. Like I said, it's not a masterpiece. It has a lot of flaws. But I think one of the things that I did do pretty well is introducing the players to the world. And if you want to do it this way, you can't just give it to them. Just like fucking slap it. You can't do that. What I always did is, like, I slowly introduced these concepts and I tried to put it into, like, context where it made sense for, like, characters to be talking about that and to be talking about it in a context that allows for defining what they do. A very tired and cliche trope, but effective, is like newspaper or, you know, news reports. You know, it's typical that a news reporter or a newspaper needs to define what things are. So it is a pretty tired trope. I don't recommend doing that, but if you're an amateur writer like myself, I don't know if you are, Dev, but it seems like it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying amateur as a derogatory term here. Just saying, as someone who does it as a hobby, like myself, it's fine to use some of these tired tropes. If you can come up with a better idea, then do that. But this, I'm done with this. All right, I'm not gonna rage quit, but it's very tempting to rage quit because I feel like I'm completely left out in this story. And maybe this comes from the fact that it's a part of a franchise here. I kind of thought because it was a prequel, I wouldn't need to have any prior knowledge of the game. But it kind of seems like I'm expected that prior knowledge, even though it's a prequel. So that feels kind of misleading. I don't know. Anyways. What is it? I don't know. Mind you, I would rather be anywhere else right now, but you three are the only people I care about in this forsaken world. So whenever you or the others call me, I will be there because I know you would do the same for me. Thank you, Verona. I just hope I didn't set us all up for a suicide mission. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure. Probably not going to get there. Because basically, I think my goal now is if there's like one more character who has dialogue that I feel like I'm not included in being able to understand it, I'm closing the game because I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if anyone who'd be watching the stream archive will have any sense of what the hell is going on in the game. So it's not fun for me. It's not fun for the people who are watching. So basically, that's where I'm going to draw the line. Is I'm giving him one more character, and if I feel like it's more dialogue that's doesn't seem to want to include the player, or the player as in me, in as to what the hell is going on, then I'm just done with it. Also, I'm about to hit the floor, but I'd rather hit the bed instead, so I'll prepare the cabin now. Sure, have a good night. Alright. So I guess I need to talk to all the other characters. I guess it's the current goal then. It's not actually touching the little fairy dust things. Tomorrow will be a historic day no matter the outcome. Only if we assume that there really is something up there that is actually going to attack the world. Knowing you, there's no way you got us all back together just on a whim or a bad feeling. If you trust your abilities even just a little bit, you know full well there's something bigger going on than just fleeting magic. If only it weren't like that. I'm not gonna lie, the sprite actually looks more like a girl. I can barely see the little goatee there. Anyways. You and me have lived long enough to know better, though I suppose we were lucky that you decided to stick around here long enough to notice something is wrong. It must be a strange thing to feel the gaze of the universe. It's not quite as dramatic as you think. The spirits told me that something still is wrong inside the tower, so I guess our work is not quite done yet. Then let's hope we can finish that work for good tomorrow. You three should rest soon. You'll need all the energy we can get tomorrow. Even though you're a vampire, well, at least that's like a known trope. That seemed ham-fisted, but so he's a vampire now. Don't worry, I'll be ready, just as I was 2 years ago. But if it eases your worry, I will rest soon enough. If you say so, I'll be going then. Well, I mean, it could have been worse. They could have, like, made their vampire, like, have some dumb, unique name that totally excludes the reader, the player. They could have called it their, I don't know, they had the Iman, what was the other one? Umani, and then they could have, like, the Dooley, and I guess the Dooley would be the vampire, but they're not going to explain that to the player. So it could have been like that, so thankfully they didn't go down that route. I know some games and books that probably would have that did do stuff like that. Is this the last character? I think so. It's sort of weird. It's sort of weird that, like, all the characters convened at this, like, central location, the village, and then they're like, now we're gonna go off and do stuff. And then your main mission is, like, to talk to the characters. Like, they were talking when they convened at the middle of the village at the start of the game. So why am I going around talking to them when we were already talking to each other at the start of the game? It seems like a... whatever, okay. Yeah, I suppose I'm as good as can be considering the circumstances. You don't look very good, to be honest. Are you worried about us? You think you're responsible for whatever happens tomorrow? Sure I am. I'm the one who organized this in the first place. You're not any more responsible than anyone else. This was the case 2 years ago, and today is no different. For what it's worth, never mind, I'm not going to say that. It's fine. Never mind. Ignore me. For what it's worth, I won't judge you for what happens or doesn't happen. I'm a little worried about Verona, though. You know she's no fighter. I always felt uneasy bringing her to such dangerous adventures. Who the fuck is Verona? Is that the first girl that I talked to? I didn't pay attention to the name. It would be nice if, like, when I push the escape menu, like, it would have... at least have the characters there so I could, like, check the names to remind myself. But as it is now, I just have to take their word for it. Like, I don't know who Verona is. I can draw my own assumptions, but I don't know if those assumptions are correct. Anyways, maybe she isn't a fighter, but her expertise has saved our hides more than a few times, and you always did a great job protecting her. Yes, I suppose, but this time we are facing an unknown enemy, even more unknown as Victus at the time. Losing her on... The game said it's a prequel. I don't know, it just feels like I'm missing something here. I don't know, I think the intro, like... I don't know, anyways. It's kind of one of those things, like... If your story takes place in a less interesting point in time than the rest of the world, then why are you telling the story? There's like some sort of saying that goes along those lines or something like that. I didn't come up with that. That was like, I don't know. It's like if you're telling this interesting backstory that sounds way more interesting than the main story of the game, like, why isn't your game during that more interesting time? Why does, like, it, I feel like if this is a prequel, that means this stuff with Victus or whatever wasn't in a game, because this is a prequel. So the sequel to this game takes place after whatever happens here. So that means, as far as I'm aware, this Victus shit has never been put into a game before. And it sounds maybe more interesting than this. Anyways, I'm sure you'll be able to protect her again. Didn't think someone scientific like Verona would have such an effect on a warrior veteran like you. To be truthful with you, Verona and I have been in contact sporadically over the past 2 years. I guess I've grown somewhat attached to her. Don't get me wrong, I think that's great, and it's all the more reason to prevail tomorrow. Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. I shall rest soon, so that I have the strength necessary to bring us glory without casualty. Good, I'll join you soon. I guess I'll just keep going. Here's some more fairy dust. This is it. The only thing between the Highland Ruins and the Void Spire, the small path here, and a bridge connect that foul place with the rest of the world. I treaded on these stones twice before. The first time I was worried about the future of the world. The second time we emerged victorious. And tomorrow it's going to repeat itself. I wonder how I'll feel when I walk on these tiles for the 4th time. That's of course only if I survive to do that. Yep, I gathered that. You don't need to point that out. I should get to the cabin soon. I'm sorry, actually, I'm kind of bored of this. I'm done. I'm not sticking to my rule. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm being discluded in what's happening. I don't know, I'm not engaged in it anymore. Part of that's not necessarily down to the writing. That's also because I've been like providing my critiques kind of in the middle of all of this, which means there's a large span of time between one dialogue and another dialogue. So that's not necessarily the fault of the developer, but yeah, I have lost interest. So let's move on to another project. I have been streaming for an hour and a half, so... Oh! I never did my mid-roll. Hey, we have 4 viewers here. Hey, viewers. You're not really chatting, but hey, viewers. Thanks for joining. I'm not done yet, but I have an advertisement for myself. I'm pointing at this screen over here when the webcam is over here. What am I doing? Anyways, I have a mid-roll ad here for the next 5 minutes. Yep, that's right. It's a 5-minute mid-roll ad. You, yes, you, are being sold on my music. So I'm going to play a new song that I finished just this past week. Pretty proud of it. A lot of people like to listen to my music. That's what I'm known for. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, like 100 people, maybe 100 people. Anyways, let's give it a listen. And after we give it a listen, we'll come back and we will play. What game will we play? Let's decide that now. I want to try this Willistoria because it's been finished for a long time and it's gotten a lot of support. And there is a lot of discussion on the forums within the game, which makes me think that it might be pretty popular. So, yeah, hopefully we can end on a positive note because 66 Seconds was pretty good. But the other games that I've played have not been good. So, yeah. So hopefully we can end on a good game. So anyways, let's listen to the music. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm gonna pump up the volume. Here we go. Here we go. Watch your ears. It is pretty loud. Well, I'll start it at like a 60% volume there, and then I'll bring it up. pretty fucking cool. Yeah. I'm going to talk more about what purpose the song serves in the context of my game next time when I do some more game dev. So stick around for that next weekend. But for now, I will say that if the mods would approve it, if the mods will approve it, you too will be able to hire me to make you some kick-ass music just like that. But we're waiting on mod approval. So, anyways, let's get back to playing games. So, what I wanted to go into next was going to be Willistoria. Yeah. So, I just realized too, with that previous game that I was playing, I totally forgot that as part of the one map challenge. It's probably a little bit too harsh on it, considering that it's part of like a challenge. But also it made me realize that we probably saw most of the game. We wouldn't actually get to see the characters go fight the bad guy because it would have to be on a different map, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that would mean probably some cop-out ending. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here. Anyways, let's look into Willistoria. Like I said, this game seems it got a lot of attention on the RPG Maker forums. It's been around for a while too. I think the original release came out in like 2016 or something, and it's just been continually getting supported since then. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see why this game is so popular. It is a free game, so I'm not knocking it here, but I can definitely see that it is free because it looks like it uses a lot of the default assets here. Which again, there's nothing wrong with that. I made a whole video about why there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, it's about appearances and what that appears to look like. Anyways, let's give it a read over. Monsters have always been at odds with humans. The existence of the monster dimension was a forbidden dimension filled with vile monster energies. Monster energies strengthened the monster on Earth, making them more aggressive and tougher to manage. It was sealed away in the past millennium. Humans then did what they could to secure their existence against monsters on Earth to date? What? I didn't parse that sentence correctly. Humans then did what they could to secure their existence against monsters on Earth to date. Okay. Humans hunt... anyways, let's just move past it. Humans hunt monsters for food and materials while monsters still prey on humans. A global defense force known as the Imperial was formed to protect the world and provide assistance in times of need and to keep monsters under control. And thus, humans tried to strike a delicate balance in the natural ecosystem against monsters while working hard on their own lives. This game has a free open scenario. You basically explore the world and do whatever quests you want. It's your own journey. Estimated gameplay time is 8 to 15 hours. We definitely won't be doing that. You will choose from 4 starting characters at the start. Note that this character will be your main character throughout the game and will not be able to change him or her. He or she will have his or her own storyline on top of your journey. For starters, I would recommend choosing Eldred, as his early gameplay is a little more guided. If you want to push yourself, choose Lazarus. The 4 starting characters have very different characteristics. The description in-game gives you a rough idea. You will also be able to recruit and expel other characters as you play games. Okay, I already see a problem with this concept right here. This is definitely, like, subjective. There are some people who would probably be okay with this. It's one thing... It feels like it's kind of like the Dark Souls argument, where, like, whenever the heinous discussion around game difficulty comes up around Dark Souls, you always have the jack-offs who, you know, come in saying, oh, if you want to play in easy mode, that's why you play a magician. Well, yeah, but what if I would like to play the game on a lower difficulty and not be, like, I just want to lower the difficulty. I don't want to be shoehorned into this specific play style, right? So, I don't like the idea that if I want to be able to understand the game well enough, I have to play this character. Ideally, in my opinion, they should make the start for all the characters more or less just as informative. I can understand having, like, I'm not knocking the idea as a whole. I can understand having different characters have different difficulties. But I don't think you should punish a player who says, I would prefer playing as this character, and then they choose the character that doesn't get enough, introduction to make players understand the game, right? That doesn't sound very fair. So anyways, if you want to know more about the in-game basics, talk to the informant. You can find him at any pub in any major town. He is dressed in Mafia Black and is the only non-playable character who wears sunglasses in the whole game. Similarly, whenever you are lost, just talk to the informant. He will lead you through the... Okay, so that's pretty nice. I actually have a character like that in my own game as well. Although maybe a little bit less informative than him, but I don't think it's as easy to get lost. If this is like a big open world with, big open-ended like quest design, stuff like that, with it being so open-ended, of course you'd want someone who's pretty informative. My person really kind of gives light hints. So anyways, lastly, always talk to people in town to find out information and trigger quests as you journey. Save your game frequently. You never know when you may get stuck or wiped out. If you complete the game, you are welcome to try out other starting characters. Okay. And we can read that. Some other... it's not important to read that. So here we go. Willistoria client. Launch the game. Alright, what was I saying about RPG Maker games launching way too loud? I also hate the volume curve that RPG Maker uses. Like, going from 100 to 50 feels like maybe a 3 decibel decrease. And then going from like 50 down to just like 40 feels like a 12 decibel decrease. Not necessarily that. Actually, the ratio is even more insane than that. I would say it's probably like going from 100 down to 40 is kind of like that 3 decibel drop, and then going below 40, you start getting like big drop-offs in the decibels. Anyways, yeah. RPG Maker is loud. Would you like to go through the introduction or skip to character? Okay, this is good. At least there's an introduction. Let's go through the introduction. Monsters have always been at odds. Okay, we read this. The existence of the monster dimension is a forbidden dimension filled with vile monster energies. Monster energies strengthen the monsters on Earth, making more aggressive and tough. Well, whatever. It was sealed. That was my fault, not the game's fault. It was sealed away in the past millennium. Humans then did what they could to secure their existence against monsters on Earth to date. That is such weird like syntax for that sentence. I have trouble parsing that. Anyways. Humans hunt monsters for food and materials, while monsters still prey on humans. Monsters dominate wild and uninhabited... Okay, well, that was not me. People who are strong will fight off monsters, those on... Okay. A global defense force known as the Imperial was formed to protect... Okay. And thus humans try to strike a delicate balance in the natural... Okay. See, because here's the thing, right? I always prefer playing a female character, but what did it say? If I want to like get a better understanding of the game, start with Eldred. So like the first one here, I have to start with him. So I should be fair to the game and do what it instructs, but I'm not going to do that, despite having that knowledge. And I guess you could say this is what happens when... This is first impressions of what happens when a player decides to either ignore that and think that, well, they'll figure it out on their own, or just doesn't even notice that they should start with Eldred. This is what happens. So I'm going to pick Candle. It's a stupid name, Candle. The priest? Candle the priest? Get the fuck out of here with that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick Candle. A priest that advocates the righteous path. Candle battles with grandiose magic abilities that can wipe out an enemy team and protect hers. Choose this character. Note that you are unable to change this main character. At least they say difficulty is intermediate. This is still really loud in my headphones. How's the balance over there? Looks like it should be fine for everyone else, but for me, it's just like blasting my ears. This is quite a weird forest. Wow, that is some movement speed. Someone is here. Arg! Are you alright? What are you doing here? Let me finish off this monster. I'm alright, but more importantly, how are you going to escape this forest? This is the Lost Forest. No one ever gets out of this place. You can probably tell from all the human skeletons lying around. We'll talk in a while. This monster's getting aggressive. Let's fight it together. Wow, that, Can I use W? No. That breathing rate, it is like... Monster's like hyperventilating. Also... the character sprites are like in fast forward. What's going on here? They move so fast. Alright, so we only have attack. I see, he sped up the game. Okay, so I know he's using the on-fly plugins. Because that's where this breathing thing comes from. Because I use it as well. It at least makes these static images for monsters a little... I don't want to say dynamic, but at least they're not static, you know? And I believe part of that, which I think is called the Battle Core, you can change the speed of the game. So on the one hand, I appreciate it because one of the biggest problems with turn-based combat is that it feels slow. So anything to speed it up is definitely appreciated. On the other hand, the result is that you get ridiculous shit like this, where I feel like, you know, I click the 2x speed button on YouTube and everything is moving a little bit too fast. There's some form of magic causing the paths in this forest to be disheveled. Is that why people get lost here permanently? Precisely, I've been trying to survive with my natural instincts for a while now. Once I learn Dispel, I can dispel the magic obstruction here. For now, let's try to get out of this forest. How are we going to do... Yeah, everything is sped up. Even like the bubble icon that appears above the head. Why is everything... Is that like... I don't know. That's weird. Instincts, with a bit of luck. Despite the disheveled pass, I can sense it. There's an exit. We just need to be lucky to step into it at the right moment. I'm Candle and I'm a priest. I have a natural tendency for such things. Well, we'll be stuck here the other way. Let's follow your instincts. You can call me Dandy. Okay, that's just it. I sort of thought we would have to figure it out as a player, but instead it's just like, nope, you don't need to figure that out. God forbid we give you gameplay. We really came out of the Lost Forest. This is my hometown. Let's meet my pastor. Like, the transfer, like, even seems sped up. What is up with that? It's so weird. Like, I appreciate making the game move faster because, yeah, waiting around sucks, but at the same time, it looks so jank. Like, making a game move faster, I think ideally should be done through a design perspective and not just clicking the fast forward button. Pastor Ive! Candle! Fucking Candle. You survived the Lost Forest. People went in the forest and never came out. It was drawing my concern and interest. You used God's power in you to help others. I'm proud of you. So who's that you brought? He's a sole survivor of the Lost Forest. I found him while I was inside. His name is Dandy. Survivor of the Lost Forest, that's a first. You've been blessed by God's power, and you're a great man. Well, I've lived by brawling monsters in there. I've got used to it eventually. Wonderful. Thank you for accepting me. Be sure to accept God's gifts to us and train yourself well. He gave us powers to be strong against monsters, and we must uphold his honor. We'll get going now. I guess that's the end of that. Okay. That was a conclusion to that. Don't mind him too much, Dandy. We respect God in every way, and Pastor Ive strongly enforces that our powers are a gift that should be maximized. It's alright, I really appreciate you bringing me out of the Lost Forest. Like what Pastor Ive said, let's train to maximize our powers. Alright, play. Alright, here's one thing I wanted to check. Alright, if you've watched this whole archive, you've made it to this point in the video, and you're looking at the same screen I'm looking at. Oh shit! No, you're not. You're not looking at the same. Oh my fucking god! I've been on my face the whole time. Well, at least you got to see my expression in full HD. My bad. I'm good at this live stream and stuff. Now you're actually looking at this screen that I'm looking at, and you've watched this whole archive so far, and you know what my big complaint is. And I've already mentioned this guy uses Yawnfly plugins, even though you didn't get to see it because you're looking at my full HD face. Can you guess what one of the problems might be? Let me just bring this up, right? Oh, I'm gonna knock my Coke over. Let's move that. Okay, there we go. Bring this up here. This time we're gonna switch back to my face, all right? God, that is fast. That is a breakneck speed. What is wrong with this game? Even the NPCs too are all just like... Anyways, sorry, that was distracting. Holy shit, these NPCs are flying around. Yeah, if you didn't get it, it's arrow keys. You use Yawnfly's plugins. You use them. So put the fucking input plugin into your goddamn game. Why do you force people to use arrow keys? If there's a plugin that allows players to pick their preferred keyboard layout, why don't you just use it? What do you want? Oh wait, I'm gonna learn spells from you, a wandering NPC that moves at breakneck speeds? Why isn't it just in like a default location? Note that each character can only learn one element of magic, and you cannot change your element once you've learned it. I do kind of like that there's permanent choices, actually. There's something to be said about like I definitely appreciate the value of being able to change your choices at a later point. Especially when you're not familiar with the game. However, what you lose with that is really considering your choices. Like, it's easy to say, oh, well, I don't know if this is valuable, so I'll just go with this for now, and not really think much about it. It's one thing that I've implemented in my game to a small extent, is I really want players to consider their choices. Because they are permanent choices. Some of them, not all of them. So, anyways, yeah, I do appreciate that. Some characters may have an affinity to an element which makes them excel in it, but they also have vulnerability to the opposite element and are unable to learn it. So, if someone had affinity for fire element, you would be vulnerable to water element. Choose your element wisely. Okay, I think... what it is... Also, I think two things. I was going to say, if I have to pick the element, how do I know what affinity my character has? But it looks like by default, I don't get to pick the element. These are my choices, which are the element, which is, I guess, holy or light or whatever. So, okay, I get that now. I think I also know the reason why the game is running at breakneck speed. I believe the game has removed the frame rate limiter on the logic. And if you notice, I have accidentally turned on the frame rate counter in the top right of my screen, and as you'll notice, I'm running at 144 frames per second, which is why everything is moving at breakneck speeds. So that's a problem. I don't know why you would remove the frame rate cap in an RPG Maker game, because the whole engine is like built on that. I didn't even know you could do that. But considering a lot of the logic is based on things calculated at 60 frames per second, it sounds like a really bad idea to remove that, because now you get jackoffs like me who are... I was not far off when I said it's like someone hit the 2 times button on YouTube, because I'm running over 2 times, actually, 60 frames per second. So, yeah. So that's why everything feels like it's in fast forward. I believe that's the problem. So anyways, we'll save. And I don't know, I'm just gonna explore. Okay, there's just a town right there. I guess we're just going to the next town. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Nothing's up for now. Oops, I didn't mean to click that again. I'm a beginner. This game is a free scenario system where you explore the world and go through events on your own discretion. There is no fixed storyline to adhere to, only a few core events for your main character. These core events are also triggered at your own freedom once you have met certain conditions. Main characters that you choose at the start of the game have their own core events. If you train your characters properly and diligently complete quests, you should have no trouble triggering the core events. Just talk to me again to find out whether you have a core event or not. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. I think this game might actually be interesting, but the uncapped, like the double speed that it's running at is a problem. It's not like the worst problem. It's not like this is a racing game or, you know, a game where I need like high reaction time. Like, it doesn't matter that it's running at double frame rate. I don't enjoy it running at double speed. And I'm a little bit tired. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, which is a little bit longer than I normally do. But I do think this game actually might be interesting. So, like I said, all these games are going to be linked down in the description, even the games I didn't like, because maybe you like them. Just because I didn't like them doesn't mean you don't like them. Yeah, go ahead and check them out, give them a try, including this game. I think this game might be good. So, yeah, do that. And I think I'm just gonna stop with this game. So I'm not giving a yay or a nay on that one. As I already said like twice now, I do think it might be interesting, and I'd like to give it a fair shake. But I'm pretty tired, and yeah, and the double frame rate just kind of kills it for me. So, anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this stream. So, thanks for joining. It was a good time doing this. I do want to do more of this in the future. So if you are an RPG Maker game developer, feel free to share your games with me. Right now, like I said, I'm only doing free games. If if you want to offer a Steam key or whatever, you can. I'll play it in that case. However, I'm mostly just looking at free games for the time being because I'm poor. So anyways, with that, this is your last friendly reminder to check out all the stuff, all the games linked down below. In the description down below, you're going to find these games that I played. You're also going to find links to my own stuff, so you'll find my book, which is free to read. You'll find my previous game, which is free to play, although it's fun. It's fun, but it has some rough edges. A lot of rough edges, but it's still pretty fun. And then also you'll find my music down below. It's not free, but it's worth every penny. And you'll also find the link to my lonely Discord, which you can join as well. Come liven the place up. Also, don't forget to do the YouTube algorithm stuff. That's like, comment, and subscribe. And also, I will be streaming again next weekend. Come back when I do some game dev stuff. So until then, thank you guys very much for watching. And I will see you next time.